Okay, hello. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amelia and I upload all kind of book content. And if you're not new here, then welcome back. Whew, I think I've forgotten how to do intros to videos because it's been like 2 weeks. However, I am doing a video that I love doing, but I don't do much because it does take a lot out of me. So I try to spread it out at least 3 or 4 times a year, so I'm not wearing myself too thin. However, if you haven't gathered by the title, I am doing a 24 hours readathon. I'm so excited. I'm so excited just to read some good books this weekend and get some books done. I've got a free weekend where I have nowhere to be, and I was like, you know what? Best time. I literally got back from holiday last week, and I was like, you know what? I need just a weekend where I don't go out, don't spend money, and just chill. So that is what we're doing today. Between this weekend, we're doing a 24 hours reading. And before we get to my little TBR that I've kind of got set up for this, how we might not stick to, because that's what I'm like, I want to discuss how I do it. Now, some people do it where they just do 24 hours straight and they don't sleep, or they try not to sleep, or they keep this thing running until the 24 hours is up. So if they're not reading, they'll still have it running. So even if they sleep for a few hours, it'll still be running. Yeah, I'm not doing that, because that does not work for me and it stresses me out too much and then I feel guilty. So that's not happening. Some people do it where they just do 12 hours on a Saturday, 12 hours on a Sunday, that does work well. However, it doesn't work well for me, because I have things I like to do during the weekend and I can't do it if I have both days solely just to read. So what I am doing is I do what I usually do, is I start on a Friday evening after work for a few hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours, hopefully 6, we'll see, because I'm starting it quite later than usual. I'm starting between 7 and 8 tonight. So I'll do a few hours on a Friday night, and then even with 4 hours, that leaves me 20 hours. It's still a lot, but that's 10 hours a day. Like, that's a bit more justifiable for me, and I could probably do more than 10 hours tomorrow, which is why I do it this way. And then I literally try and get it all completed by Sunday midday, 1 o'clock, so I have the afternoon to do my own thing. So that's how I'm doing it. I'm going to do some tonight, all day tomorrow, and then finish it Sunday, hopefully midday-ish. So we will see. Last time I did this in February, I actually had to pause it for a whole evening because I was going to a show in the evening on the Saturday evening. However, this time I don't have to do that. I've got nowhere to be tomorrow evening. I've got nowhere to be, so I can just read. Now, I'm sure you want to see my TBR. My parents have just got home, so my luck of them interrupting me whilst I'm doing this is really high. So I'm sorry if I get interrupted. I'm sorry if you hear a load of noise. However, I've got a TBR of some books, so I thought I would go through them. First of all, we have, I can't hold it, Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. This is the 5th book in the Boys of Tommen series. This I am doing as an audiobook. There's things I need to do, which an audiobook, when I do them, the audiobook will come in handy. Hence, this book. Also, the Let Them theory, if I don't want to continue this book, if that makes sense. We then have King of Greed by Anna Huang. This is the 3rd book in the Kings of Sin series, and I have been meaning to read it. I haven't read one of these books since like last August. So we're nearing a year and I haven't continued the series, so we need to get further in. Then we have Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. This is the 2nd book in the Out on the Limb series. It's the sequel to that one, and it is between Sarah and Caleb, and Sarah and Caleb are basically Wynn's best friends from Out on a Limb. So yeah, want to read that one potentially. Then we have Air of Fire by Sarah J Maas. Now, this is a very big risk. I probably won't even get to it, but I would like to. But if I don't, I don't. This is the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series, and I do need to get through this series as well. So it is on it, but it is quite a chunky one, so it depends. I might not even get to it, but we'll see. Then there is a book that I do have to read because it's for book club, and I'm doing an in-person book club and I need to read this. It is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Now, I need to read this, but I don't really like thrillers. I bought this off Vinted so that I can read it. Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. This book is the 1st book in the Gold Rush Ranch series, and I really would love to get to this book this weekend. We'll see if I do or not. I don't know. However, it would be good if I got to it. Then we have The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. Now, this is the reason I picked this one. Look how short that is. Look how short that is. Like, it is so short and sweet, and I would like to get to this book potentially this weekend, just to like have a palate cleanser, a quick read, potentially, maybe. And then finally, if I have time and I like have like maybe a couple of hours, maybe even an hour or even half an hour left on a timer, I'm not going to start a new book if that's the case, because obviously I won't get through it, and I'm in the middle of a different reading vlog, and that is really my reread of Terms and Conditions and Heartless. However, I'm in the middle of rereading this one at the moment, so it makes sense just to pick this one back up when it comes to it. However, I have got a few books on my Kindle that I want to read. I have got The Ark for People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. Hello. Okay, it is currently nearly 8 o'clock. Where's my time? Well, it is 8 o'clock. More like than nearly 8 o'clock. My hair looks a bit mad. We're trying to ignore that because it's just, yeah. Sorry, I wasn't on TikTok. Okay, I'll check that in a second. However, it is the time to start reading for 24 hours, which is actually mad. I haven't done this since February, and I was trying to work out when I did it. I remembered it was Valentine's Day. I started this last time because I did like a whole self-care thing in it as well. However, I have decided what book I'm going to start with. I'm going to try and give this book a second chance. We're going to try reading Cross the Line by Simone Sultani, because I have recently got into F1 and like been getting really into it, so I thought, why not give it a second chance and start from the beginning again rather than picking up halfway through, because one, I don't really remember any of the book, and two, I remember DNFing it because I just was not into it. I will say though, if I get about an hour into reading and I'm like not feeling it, I will change the book, because I just know I don't want to spend 4 or 5 hours trying to read a book that I'm not enjoying. And I'm going to try and read for 2 hours of just reading this, and then I'm going to probably put my headphones in about 10 after my shower, to listen to some of the Taming 7, to do some stuff on my computer for about an hour, and then I might try and stay up until 1ish and continue reading so we can get a good chunk of the way through Cross the Line, if not finish it tonight. I have got an iced coffee here, so hopefully that will help. Let's go. Hello. Okay, if you can hear music, I do apologise. My dad is currently having a shower and playing music. However, we've just gone over an hour and a half of reading, so about an hour and 35 minutes of reading so far, technically. And we've read 20% of Cross the Line by Simone Sultani. I think I'm just going to stick and power through this book because I'm not hating it. Like, I'm really not hating it. I think I'm slightly tired, which is what's really not helping, because all I want to do is sleep, but I also want to get not as many hours down tonight, then I won't, but at least 4 hours down tonight, which would be good. However, I don't know if I will. It would be good if I could try and get more than 4 hours, because leaving 10 hours for 2 days just sounds stressful. Like, I could technically do about 18 hours tomorrow, so potentially. Okay, I realised I should have checked if this would work, if this was plugged in when I haven't turned the mic on. No, it doesn't, so I might have a few clips where I've spoken and there's no sound. Smart me. So smart. Still learning, but it's okay. However, I do want to explain what I was just saying, because otherwise I'm going to hate myself. However, we have just got to a part in the book where Willow and Dev have gone home to California, and Willow wanted to stop at this, on the way back home, at this macaroon shop. So they do, and Dev asks her what her favourite flavour is, and she says what her favourite flavours are. She says she should order him a pistachio one, he would love it. She goes to order it, and she does. He goes straight in and says, can we get 10 of each flavour? And I'm sorry, that man just doing that. And I remember that happening the last time I read it, but I just didn't care enough for it at that time. Anyway, I am getting extremely tired, I'm not going to lie to you. It's 12:05 in the morning. However, I want to make it to when we hit the 20-hour mark, because that means we would have read for 4 hours, and I'd be quite happy with that, because I feel like I can get a good chunk done tomorrow, which then means on Sunday we shouldn't be left with too much, because I really don't want to. So, yeah. I'm currently 29% of the way through this. By the time we finish, it should be about 30. Tonight I'll be 30%. Good morning. Please ignore how I look. I haven't brushed my hair or anything yet. It is 8:07 and I have woken up and it's time to start reading again. We have basically 20 hours left, and my plan is, because if we do 12 hours from now, it'll be 7 minutes past 8 tonight. I can then probably stay up to about midnight, which is another 4 hours. So so I would have done, if I do 12 hours, I'll leave with 8 hours. Do another 4-ish hours, we'll leave with 4 hours. I think I can finish it tomorrow morning, which is the plan, because I have got to log into, I don't have to, but I want to log in to do some work in the afternoon to get that overtime pay, and also to help out the team. So I didn't want to be finished in the morning, so it is time to restart the timer and continue reading across the line, and hopefully I will still enjoy it, because considering when I was reading it before in like last year, when I picked up thinking, oh my god, I'm really going to enjoy this, and I was like, I'm not enjoying this at all. I am enjoying it now. I don't think it's going to be anything miraculous. I don't think it's going to be more than like I'm thinking 3.5 stars, but we'll see. We'll wait until I get further into the book. But I do think I'm enjoying it more than I did before, because I think when I first tried to read it, I was like, no, this is terrible. And I think partly it was because I was in a bit of a slump. However, we're only at 30%, so much can change. I've got 70% left to go, so I'm going to continue reading, and I'm going to put you on charge because you're running out of battery. I just want to say, I absolutely hate Buck. Buck is, like, I think the manager of Argonauts Racing, who is the team that Dev races for. So, obviously, like, you have, in F1, you have 2 races per team. For example, like, McLaren have Oscar and Lando. Red Bull have Yuki and Max. Ferrari have Lewis and Charles, etc., if you didn't know. And Buck, I think, is the manager of Argonauts Racing, and he brought his son in. Nick, I don't even remember his name, not important. And I don't think this is a spoiler, but basically, because Buck has brought his son in, he doesn't care about Dev's performance, doesn't really care about Dev being there. He wants to get him out, but isn't going to waste the money to buy him out, so he's going to wait till the contract is up, by the sounds of it. And he's hosting a dinner for, like, a small dinner, just, like, important players and stuff. However, he invited Reed, who is Dev's friend. They used to live together. And Reed is also an F1 driver, and Buck invited Reed but didn't invite Dev. Reed asked Dev if he was going and thought he knew. And it just really annoys me because I'm like, I get it. Like, not everyone gets on with each other. I kind of get it. Like, some people, you know, as the manager of a team, you need to provide a united front. Yeah. So I'm not really liking the fact that the manager of the whole Argonaut racing is literally basically pitting against him, not doing anything to help Dev, which is basically like, you don't want him on his team, you don't care if he fails the team, yet he's driving better than his teammate. His teammate, for most of the time, starts lower than Dev does, is not getting points for the team when Dev is getting points for the team, and it just bothers me so much. But it is what it is. Anyway, that's my little rant.
Such a quick read. I guess that means I have about...
Oh my god. Hello, why did I start the clip when I was not ready? However, I'm actually going to pause the timer because I've got a few things to do. Well, not a few things to do, but a few things to show you and talk to you about, and I don't really want to waste the time. However, we have just finished the first book of this readathon. We have finished Cross the Line by Simone Sultani. And you know what? It is currently 12:30, and I've been up and started reading about 8, so that's not actually that bad. And I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, so I'm actually so glad I gave it a second chance, because it was a book I never thought I would give a second chance to. I think it's only reason I did was because I got into watching the F1 and I was like, you know what, I really want to give this book a second chance, and I am so glad I did. I actually really enjoyed it. It was just a beautiful story. There was things that were predictable. It's a romance book, it's very predictable. I didn't hate it, which I'm really, really happy about it. I think I'm going to give it a 3-star. It wasn't miraculously amazing. It wasn't phenomenal. I wasn't like, oh my god at it, but I did enjoy it. And so I think a 3-star is very reasonable for what this book is. So, definitely. And I was enjoying both Dev and Willow's relationship, which means the next book for this video is going to be The Silent Patient. I'm reading it now so that when it comes to tonight, I don't need to be reading a thriller, because no. So I'm going to start this in a minute. I'm going to put Harry Potter on. I'm about to start the second one, and I'm going to read The Silent Patient. However, I have got 2 deliveries that I want to show you. I have got another one coming later, which I'll show you when it turns up, but whilst I'm waiting for that one, I'll show you this one because this is related to F1. Okay, I'm there making lunch, you can tell. I got 2 t-shirts off TikTok shop, and it was because I saw it and it was advertised, and I was like, you know what, I really want it. And if you haven't gathered by me talking about it so much in this first part of this video about F1, I do really enjoy the F1. I've got into these Lego mystery boxes for F1. That's really been an addiction for me, and it's bad. So I saw this on TikTok shop, and I'm a McLaren girly, so I really support McLaren. I'm not sure about the material of this t-shirt though, I won't lie to you, but I got this t-shirt. It's oversized, literally plain on the front. On the back, it has McLaren on it. So I'll be rocking this on a Sunday. I do wish this was on the front. I didn't realise it was on the back. Maybe it did say it was on the back, but I didn't pay much attention. But this is got Oscar's number on it, which is 81, and Lando's, which is 4. I'm covering the mic up here. Like, I just probably made a lovely muffling sound for you guys. Sorry, but yeah, I do like this one, and I'm happy. I do want to get an actual McLaren top, but that's a later me because they are quite expensive. So yeah, and then this one is specifically a Lando Norris top, and I will wear it as much as possible on a Sunday race to support him and get him to win, you know, be lucky. Not like, I don't know, no. I'm not even in the paddock, I'm nowhere there, so obviously it's not working, but got a t-shirt that says, basically got his face on it, Lando Norris, and I love it. I'm so happy. Like, it's got pictures of his face, like, look at his little smile. Oh, so happy with that. So there, I got those. Also, a bit of excitement because I'm so excited and so happy. I'm going to see Benson Boone, guys. I'm going to see Benson Boone in November at the O2. I'm so excited. I've booked a day and a half off work to go watch him on the Monday, and I'm so excited to see him on that stage. I am doing standing, and I don't do standing in concerts anymore just because I do prefer seated, although I do stand up for the whole time, but at least I have my own seat. I don't have to get there extremely early to queue so we can get a good seat, but now it's the complete opposite. But it's fine. We're going to be fine. We're going to get in. We're going to have a great time, and I'm so excited. But it is now time to set up my laptop, my headphones, and start reading The Silent Patient. Am I excited? I don't think I am. Which is really sad, because obviously when you're doing a 24-hour readathon, you do want to be excited for the books you're reading. But I do need to read the book I was picked now before, otherwise I forget. Because if I do end up going to meet them, which I'm hoping I will, like, it depends on if they change the day or not, because I can't do this week anymore. I want to be able to have read the book so I can discuss it rather than not discuss it. So, gonna try and read it. Wish me luck, and then once we've read this, we can move on to a book I really want to read. Okay, sorry, we're going to try and avoid how bad my hair looks. I had to take a nap because I was genuinely falling asleep even trying to read the book. I was like, yeah, no. So I did take a nap, but I then paused the timer as well because I didn't want to waste the timer. But then I restarted the timer. We are at 15 hours and 20 minutes left. So I think this means we've done nearly 10 hours. I might be wrong. 9 hours? Maybe 9 hours. When it hits 14, yeah, when it hits 14 hours, it's 10 hours. So 9 hours. I'm on chapter 5 of The Silent Patient. The chapters are quite short at the moment, so haven't got far in. However, from what I'm getting from what we're seeing, we're following a girl called Alyssa Berenson, and she was married, and the prologue literally tells us how much she loves her husband, Gabriel. However, she was feeling very depressed, and then in the first chapter you hear that her husband turned up late at night and was shot, and then there was like loads of blood on her arms, and then she ends up being taken away, but she goes silent, like she doesn't say a thing, and that's why it's called The Silent Patient, because she has not spoken a word since that night. And so we're following that, and we're following a guy called, oh my god, is his name Toby? No, Theo. A guy called Theo. I can't believe I'm on the 5th chapter and I was like, I can't remember his name. A guy called Theo who had mental health issues himself, and then he went through therapy and was like, I want to do this, and then was intrigued by Alyssa Berenson's story. That's the point where she applied for a job at the Grove where she was taken, and wants to like work on her treatment and stuff. So we're following his story of him finding out what's going on and what happened, and I guess we're going to see what happens. Am I quite prepared for this? Not really, no. Am I even enjoying how it's written? Not really, no. But we're going to try and power through. I really feel like if I get 30% of the way through and I'm really not enjoying it, I'll just stop and find something else. But I really just think I need to power through it because it is book club pick of the month, and I really just want to at least read one book from that, because I didn't read the first book we read. But even if I did an effort, at least I can say I tried, rather than just decided I wasn't going to give it a go. Hello. Where are we? Let's have a look. We've nearly read for 10 hours. which means we've got 14 hours and 9 minutes left on the timer. I think within the 4 hours, I will finish this book, which means depending on the size of the next book I pick up, I might be able to get through two more books in this challenge, which would be great, or at least one more book and then continue. Terms and conditions, we'll see. However, I'm not thinking about what book I'm going to read next because I'm not going to want to continue this book, because when I say I'm not loving it, I'm not loving it. I think it's going to be like a 2.5 stars. And I don't rate things that lower, but I don't really care for the story. However, I am intrigued to see what happened. Like, I want to know why Alyssa did what she did. I want to know if she does talk. But yeah, I'm just over 30% of the way through so far this book. We have still quite a bit left to go, obviously, but I do think I can finish this within 4 hours, less than 4 hours potentially. I'm just gonna sit here and binge it, but I'm just not, like, I'm not obsessed, I'm not addicted to it, but I'll read what's going on. We're meeting a lot of people who are in the Grove, who work there. Like, we met this guy called Christian, a guy called I don't even know how to say his name, Yuri, a lady called Elif. There's a lot of people we're meeting, and you don't really know much about them. They're just there in the story, and that's fine. You met Theo, our main male character in this book's wife, and what seemed like could have been a happy marriage isn't, and so I feel like that's also a part that's going to play out in this book, which I didn't know. I thought it was about this girl called Alyssa. I didn't think we were going to watch someone else's marriage play out, and her infidelity, but we'll see. However, I'm not loving it. Genuinely don't care. So I am gonna just try my hardest to power through and read it, because I don't want to give up on it, but I don't care too much about it. But we will see. We'll see how far I get into it. Not how far I get into it. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna finish it. Let's go. And I'll give you an update maybe when I'm halfway, maybe when I'm at the end. Who knows? I just can't wait to be done. Hello, okay. I probably look and sound worse for wear. I'm not gonna lie to you, my nose is playing up. I'm hot, I'm tired, and I feel a bit, not ill, but bloated. Living my best life. However, I have finished The Silent Patient. Finally. I won't say I did not hate it. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it, and there was the twists and the turns. That plot twist, my suspicions were not right at all, and I should have seen it coming. I looking at myself, and I should have seen who it was going to be. The way, especially of how I can't say it will spoil it, but yeah, I actually enjoyed the book. I think I'm going to give it a 2.75. I enjoyed it enough, but I don't think it was that marvellous of a thriller. I think I preferred the housemaid stories, and even the second one I said was so predictable in some ways, and also the reasoning behind what person who did what they did, I was like, it's pointless, it was so stupid. But yeah, so I'm giving this a 2.75, and I did enjoy it, but it's not marvellous, but also I'm not a thriller girly, so I think that is also the reason why. So I'm happy to say I've read it. I am pausing the time. I'm about to go have a shower. I really need to have one. I think it might help wake me up. And then I'm going to figure out what the hell I want to read next. I actually have no idea what I want to pick up. I might just do a Kindle read, but I kind of want to do something off my TBR. So I'm going to have a look at my TBR after my shower when I'm in my cozies, and we can figure something out. I've also just finished the 3rd Harry Potter film, so there's that. We have chosen the book I'm going to read next, because it's a short book, and I thought this would be the perfect palette cleanser to put next, and then we'll see how long we've got left to pick up the next book. I was actually going to do Air of Fire, because like it's 500 pages, I've got 11 hours, I could probably do that. But I'm like, I don't think I can put myself through that right now. I'm not prepared, so I decided against it. And then I was like toying the idea between Life's Too Short or something like that by Abby Jimenez, which I do really want to get to, so it might be the last book in this video if I think I can finish it in the time we've got left. Or it's King of Greed, which is the 3rd book in the Kings of Sin series. However, I am going to stick with what was on my TBR for this 24-hour readathon, and we're going to do The Love Wager, or just, yeah, The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. This is it's like 290 pages. It's a very short book. It's fake dating, which I love, and I love fake dating, and I feel like I've had Brother's Best Friend in this. I need a light-hearted Hello. Okay, it is 22:11. We have got 9 hours left of reading, which I feel is like a very, very good standpoint, considering I left last night with like 20 hours still to go. I have got on this book an hour, like 2 hours basically left to read. So, and I'm at 43% of the way through The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. So I think I'm going to try and I really am going to try and sit and binge it. So, and I'll hopefully finish by latest 1 o'clock in the morning and then go to bed, because I am tired, but I'm going to fight my way through it, because I would like to finish it, because if I can finish this one before I go to bed, and when I've only got 7 hours left, 7 hours is a good enough time for me to find a book that I can actually finish before the 7 hours is up, potentially. Hopefully can, because the thing is like I said, I would like to potentially do a couple of do the last bit, just audiobook in this book. Good morning. I probably look worse for wear, I feel worse for wear. Probably this is the worst day I felt this weekend. I'm bunged up, my stomach is not doing great, and I'm not entirely sure why. So I think I know why. I think it's because my period is due, but it's just not great. However, today I'm not feeling my greatest. Not good. Not good at all when you've got 7.5 hours left still to read. I actually did not finish Love Wager last night. I actually have 55 minutes left of the book, but I was like falling asleep. So I just knew it was not wise for me to stay up any longer. I'm going to restart the timer in a minute, and we're going to continue reading The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. I thought I'd just give you one update. I am really enjoying it. I thought it was going to be fake dating from the start, which I like. It wasn't. Like, first 50% was just them being friends, moving into fake dating. to then moving into actual dating, I'm gonna guess. So we haven't got much longer left, so I should be finished with this by like just before 9 or 9 o'clock at the latest, which is very good. And then I need to pick out my next book, which I tried to start getting an idea of what I was going to read, that one I could probably finish within the last. However, it's coming down to like several different ones, so we're gonna see what I'm feeling like after finishing The Love Wager. Hello, we have finished The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. This is a 4-star read. Specifically, it's exactly 4 stars. I was smiling, laughing, giggling through all of it, and I'm kind of glad I have a 4-star read in this because Chris and I was like 3, I think, 3, I can't remember, but about 3-star, and we had 2.75 or 2.5 for Silent Patient, so I'm really happy. So we've got a 4-star read, because I was starting to think I'm not going to get good reads in this video, but we have got a good read. I really enjoyed it. I loved Jack and Hallie's story. I really enjoyed the banter. I really enjoyed their romance, and I think it was just so much fun. Such a quick and easy read, and I genuinely feel like if I wasn't so tired last night, I could have finished it last night. However, I really enjoyed it, so 4 stars. But I have decided to try and change the genre slightly, because I feel like if I stick to another happy-go romance, I'm going to get put in a slump for romance. And my next 2 books, the other books I'm reading for a different video, straight after this, are romances. So it just makes sense. I don't know if I'm going to finish this today, and I really hope I do, because I really don't want it stuck over the head of me, because I've got an arc to read, as well as my other 2 books after this. But I am picking up Twisted by Emily McIntyre. I haven't read a book from this series since 2023, and that was Wrecked was the 3rd one, I think, the one about Wizard of Oz, basically. I didn't like that one, and I kind of was like unhauling the books. I actually put this on Vintage. I still got the book because I put it on Vintage and no one's bought it, but I did also have Crossed, which is the 5th book, and that one was sold, so yeah. However, because I still have it, I was like, it's not because I was going to read it, I'm reading it on my Kindle anyway, but the fact that I still have the book makes me even happy, because I feel like I'm reading straight off my TBR. It's not off my TBR, it's on my haul list. I'm still waiting for people to buy from. But this is kind of like an Aladdin retelling, but it's like you rooting for the villains. If you don't know them, Never After series by Emily McIntyre, basically you're following the Disney villains, sort of female character, or even like a male character who's I guess good. So you got the first one, which is Hooked, which is a Peter Pan kind of retelling where you're following Captain Hook and Wendy. You've got Scarred, which is a Lion King retelling where you're following Scar and what's Simba's wife's name in the book, in the film? I don't remember. I haven't watched Lion King for so long. Then you've got Wrecked, that is following the evil queen, evil witch, the wicked witch, as I say, not the evil witch, wicked witch. I don't know if it's Elphaba. I want to say it's Elphaba. I don't think it is, but we'll see. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember that book specifically because I did not like it. So this one is an Aladdin one. This is following Jasmine and, oh my god, Jafar. So yeah, it does say it's going to take me 7 hours, and I've only got 6 hours and 49 minutes, but because I'm reading my Kindle, I might be able to read it faster, so fingers crossed I can, and we can get through this book. I feel like because it's dark romance, if I really don't like it after about half an hour to an hour, I will probably start reading Terms and Conditions, which is for my other video, because I know I'm enjoying that, and then I can move on to sit on my laptop and listen to the audiobook for Saving 7, but I don't really want to do that. I was toying between this and Off to the Races by Elsie Silver, but I feel like I need a little bit of a change. interrupts the reading that I really need to hurry up and continue the timer for, because I don't want to be going past 4 because that's when I wanted to log in and do work, but we'll see. However, I got an Amazon delivery today, and that was really satisfying. This was meant to come yesterday, and I'm glad it came today and I could put it in this video, because I just wanted to have a little bit of a book haul in this video. However, I ordered 2 books on Amazon very weakly. I was trying my hardest to wait. One is specifically for one to come out paperback, because I probably won't read it yet. But actually I do kind of want to do a video with it, so maybe not. And the other one, I'm like, I have it as an audiobook. I'm not near it yet, but I just really wanted the book, so I had to order it. So, we're going to start with the big chunky one, paperback one. I got Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. Why is the word so small? I don't think the word's that small in Taming 7. Luckily, I listen to these as audiobooks and don't actually read them physically. I mean, they are small, but not as small as that. That is tiny. Like, tiny. However, Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. This is Lizzie and Huey's book. This is the 6th instalment to the Boys of Thomas series. This series has been a chokehold. I am obsessed, but I do like taking my time. I also do have these both as audiobooks. So obviously I'm currently listening to this as an audiobook. This will be the next audiobook I pick up probably. But yeah, I'm so happy I finally have Releasing 10 in my hands. I can't believe how chunky it is compared to Taming 7, but I've heard so many like things about this book of how like raw it is and how painful it is, but can't wait to get my heart ripped out my chest, because I thought Joey and Ethan's story was going to get me the most. And then if you've been following my channel for as long as I've been doing booktube content, this also comes as no surprise as why I'm picking up a book, because she is one of my favourite authors. Because even though I didn't like Carrie Soto is back, but it's fine. Also, the starstruck is damaged a little bit, but I got Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So many people have said so many good things about this book already, and it's short. I only was going to wait for it to come out of paperback because I prefer paperbacks, but I couldn't wait. It's Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I literally cannot stop thinking about Daisy Jones and the Six. I read Daisy Jones and the Six for the first time in 2022. We're in 2025, and I'm still thinking about that book. I've reread it twice. I reread it back in March this year, and I loved it. To the point where I made my friend read it, and she really enjoyed it. It is 10:15. We have 6 hours exactly left of this reading challenge. And I'm still reading Twisted, obviously. But I'm already enjoying it. I am enjoying being in this world. I mean, Aladdin is one of my favourite Disney films. So I kind of had this feeling I'd probably love it. But also, I've heard mixed reviews on this one from Alexa Ray, who got me into the Never After series in the first place. She said the first half was a bit, like, wrecked, and then the second half picked up. I'm already enjoying the first half, but I kind of can see where she's coming from. But I think the problem with me with Wrecked, I don't really remember the reason I didn't like it. I just remember an awful lot of nothing happening. But I think I went in with the expectations that I was going to love it as much as I loved Scarred and Hooked. And that was probably why my own problem was going with that same expectation I had when I read the first 2 books. So going in with this one, I have the lowest expectation ever. So I'm going to enjoy it, and that's probably why I'm enjoying it. I'm kind of just going through the motion at the moment, and I am enjoying it. Currently following Yasmin, who is the daughter of Ali. Ali owns this like jewelry business. And then you've got Julian, who is kind of like he sees as a son in some ways, and Julian wants to take over Ali's business, but obviously technically it should run in the family. But so Ali is sick and is on his deathbed. Basically, he's got cancer, so he's sadly not gonna like probably live much longer. So he's dying wishes basically for Yasmin to get married. So he has someone to look after her. So she has someone to look after her, and he has someone to take over the business. If you cannot tell, Julian is going to do anything he can to get there. So, but also alongside this, Yasmin has a secret lover called Aiden, who, if you couldn't guess, is Aladdin. So she's now going to have to basically, from the sounds of it, she's going to have to marry Julian Jafar, and and keep her relationship with Aiden Aladdin in secret. However, I feel like obviously there's a lot more is going to happen between them, which is going to cause it. But because you see there's some kind of chemistry with them, but it's like hatred, and I love it. So I'm going to continue reading this. Kindle says it's going to take me like 4 hours or something to read, which means I'll still have time left. If I do, I'll either just pick up terms and conditions, or I'll put my audiobook on and just get all my stuff on my computer. But we're basically 60% of the way through Twisted. And I just wanted to talk about this because Julian claims he does not care for Yasmin, and Yasmin claims to hate him. Although it's like there's a thin line between love and hate, right? You can clearly see there's an attraction between both of them from things that have happened in the book. However, this is a proof of someone who actually just shows that he cares but doesn't want to admit it. Yasmin wants to go to lunch or brunch with her friend. However, she can't drive. She never admitted to him she can't drive. She's kind of like implied that she can't. But she's like, oh yeah, like I can. Like what girl this age can't drive. Ha ha ha. So it's now he came back from his day out or whatever he was doing and said, I'm teaching you how to drive. Like instead of just saying, I'm gonna get someone to drive you to your friend, he's like, I'm gonna teach you how to drive. Like what? I have an update. We have just finished Twisted by Emily McIntyre. I actually really like that book. I actually really liked it. I forgot what Emily McIntyre's books are like, and I think I'm going to continue the series again. I'm going to read Crossed and Hex at some point. So I'm going to have to put them to my series tracker because I'm going to forget. But luckily, I'm on Kindle Unlimited, so I can read it anytime. We are at 2 hours and 9 minutes, so I'm obviously not going to start a new book. I think I'm going to listen to about half an hour of Taming 7 whilst I do these things. And then I think I might just read for an hour and a half of Terms and Conditions to get a good way through that for another video that I'm filming. Anyway, let's just quickly talk about Twisted. Oh, hello. I literally haven't moved since I had my lunch, because literally my plate is still here. Let's quickly talk about this book. Honestly, it was such an easy binge. I actually cannot believe I managed to finish that in the time and still have 2 hours left. It took me 4 hours to read this book. Probably the quickest book I've read this whole 24 hours. Actual madness. However, it follows, like I said, Julian and Yasmin, and everything about it just was perfect. The romance was great. I loved the hate to love, the enemies to lovers, basically what it was in this book. I loved so much about it, and that ending just was perfect, and it reminded me why I liked Emily McIntyre's writing in the first place. So I'm really happy I have read this book, and can say happily that I want to continue the Never After series after the little minor blip with Wrecked. So yeah, I'm giving it a 4-star. I'm giving it a 4-star. I didn't think I would, but I'm giving it a 4-star. It has made me smile so much. I'm really happy. Hello. Oh, my voice. Hello. Okay. We have made it to the end of this challenge. Do you know what? It's been a challenge. And when I say a challenge, it's been a challenge for several reasons. I haven't felt the greatest this weekend. And I felt like I was gonna let it defeat me, and I was gonna be like really negative about whilst filming, and there might have been points where I'd be like, oh, for goodness sake, why am I like this? But I feel like I didn't let it get to me. I was very successful. The last time I felt like rubbish whilst doing 24 hours of reading was back in like November, December time last year, when I think it was December. It was December, it was just the day before it was a weekend before my granddad's funeral, which is probably what didn't help. And I didn't succeed. I wasn't successful. I think I had about 4 or 5 hours left on the clock, or maybe even 2 hours left, I can't remember. And I felt like rubbish. This time I powered through, and I literally, so the timer says I got 41 seconds. I did stop listening to the audiobook like 5 minutes before, when I had 5 minutes on the clock, because I was like, there's not even a point, because the chapter was like 10 minutes long, and I don't want to end in the middle of the chapter, and I was getting to that point where I was like, I just don't listen to it anymore. So basically, it was like, there was no point in me continuing, but I literally have done it for 23 hours and 55 minutes, which is basically 24 hours, let's be honest. And there was a time when I was reading for like 15 minutes where the timer was paused earlier, so technically I have done it without it saying on it. So I'm pretty proud of that, and I'm proud of how much we've read, because I read 4 full books, not even just like, because when I did the last readathon, and I'm going to compare it to that one, because I did this in February, and I took a half day to do this, on a Friday, and I read the rest of Zodiac Academy, the first book. I read 2 full books, and I read like 30% of Zodiac Academy, the second book. Now those 2 books are long, and the other books I chose were like actually probably the same size as the ones I've read this weekend. So I'm really proud of myself, because I read 4 full books and 27% of Taming 7, which is pretty good. I did try to pick up, I think I said earlier, I tried to pick up some of Terms and Conditions, and I just didn't. I read one chapter and was like, you know what, I need a break from physically reading, so I just stuck to the audiobook, and I was really happy I did. But let's quickly summarise. So we first of all read just a book on my Kindle. I didn't even have a physical book anymore, because I did unhaul the book. I'm pretty sure I unhauled the book. And I read Cross the Line by Simone Satani. Now I DNF'd this book before in 2024. And I think part of it was I just didn't care about F1 at that point. And I think it just didn't, because it was very much more related to F1, and you could tell the author enjoyed watching F1. And at that point, I didn't. Now I do. I've currently got Drive to Survive on in the background. I've paused it to do this ending. However, I really enjoyed the book. I really enjoyed going to it this time, and I'm happy I read it. I gave it a 3-star, which I think it wasn't anything marvellous, and it wasn't something I was like, oh my god, raving about, but I did enjoy it. And yeah, I think I definitely am glad I gave it a second chance, because I am glad I read it, and I felt like I could understand it a bit more now, because I understood F1. And I did feel bad for Dev, and I loved Dev and Willow's relationship, so yeah. So I read that, and then I read a thriller, which is if you've watched my channel, or if you're not new to my channel, then you will know I don't really read thrillers. I think I've read 2 thrillers in my life until now. So yeah, when I picked this one up, it was a bit of a rogue one, but it was book club choice. And it's The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. It was a good book. It was average. I wouldn't say I loved it. I really wasn't hooked on it. I didn't really care. But I did want to know what happened, but I just didn't really care at all about the story, which is really bad. I gave it a 2.75 stars. You're following Theo and Alicia. And That's all I'm going to say. Alicia is a patient who is silent after killing her husband, supposedly. And Theo is a psychotherapist or something like that. I don't know what it's called. Can't remember. But yeah, 2.75. Average was okay. And then I picked up The Love Wager, which I just generally did. I just put it up because I was like, oh, I need something like fluffy romance. Didn't expect to love it as much as I did, but oh my god, this book was like so funny to read. I couldn't stop laughing. The banter between Hallie and Jack was just great. And I really, really did enjoy this book, so I'm so glad I read it. And I have Ella and Catherine to thank, because if I hadn't had a physical copy, probably wouldn't have picked it up. But I'm so glad I did, because Ella and Catherine gifted me the physical copy, and I'm so glad I picked this up, so yes. And then we read Twisted by Emily McIntyre, which is the 4th book in the Never After series, and a book I never thought I'd ever pick up, but I did, and I'm so glad. Honestly, I loved this book. I really enjoyed it. I literally read it in one sitting. I couldn't stop reading it. I think these books will be ones I'll continue, and when I do, it will be in this specific type of video. I'm really happy. I can say this is a 4 stars. And then I did also listen to some of, over this course this weekend, Taming 7. I listened to 27%, which is a pretty good chunk considering how long these books actually are. And this book's following Claire and Gibbsy, and I do understand what people said when they read this book for the first time. I was like, it's giving more Lizzie. There's more Lizzie in it than it is about Claire and Gibbsy, and we're only 27% of the way through, and I'm seeing a lot of like things about Lizzie and like how basically Release 10 is kind of going to be like. And I'm going to end this video here. So if you did enjoy my 24 hours of reading and you want me to do more, let me know in the comments. I'll try and do some more. But if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and I will see you again next week with another video.